Napoleon Bonaparte, a name synonymous with ambition, military genius and ultimately tragedy, was born Napoleon Bonaparte on the island of Corsica in 1769. This island had recently been acquired by France, and Napoleon's family, of minor noble Italian lineage, initially resisted French rule. His father, Carlo Bonaparte, was a lawyer, while his mother, Letizia Ramolino, was known for her strong will and resilience. These traits would later become defining characteristics of Napoleon himself. Growing up in a time of great political and social upheaval, Napoleon's formative years were deeply shaped by the events of the French Revolution, which began in 1789. He received his formal education in mainland France at military schools in Brienne-le-Château and Paris. Despite facing prejudice and social isolation as a Corsican outsider, Napoleon excelled in his studies, particularly in mathematics and history. He devoured military treatises, immersing himself in the strategies and tactics of great commanders throughout history. Napoleon's early military career began in the tumultuous years following the French Revolution. He quickly rose through the ranks, demonstrating exceptional tactical skills and an unyielding ambition. His first major success came in 1793 at the Siege of Toulon, where his innovative artillery tactics helped recapture the city from royalist forces. This victory earned him recognition and promotion to brigadier general at the young age of 24. Napoleon's early experiences during the French Revolution and his rapid ascent through the military ranks instilled in him a deep understanding of both the opportunities and the dangers of political instability. This period laid the foundation for his future ambitions and set the stage for his meteoric rise to power. The years 1796 to 1799 marked a pivotal period in Napoleon's military career, solidifying his reputation as a brilliant strategist and a charismatic leader. In 1796, he was appointed commander of the French army in Italy, tasked with confronting the Austrian forces that threatened France's borders. What followed was a series of stunning victories that would forever etch Napoleon's name in military history. Napoleon's Italian campaign was characterized by his audacious maneuvers, his ability to inspire his troops, and his keen understanding of the political landscape. He repeatedly outmaneuvered larger Austrian armies, winning decisive victories at Lodi, Mantua and Rivoli. His victories not only secured France's borders, but also expanded French influence into Italy, establishing satellite republics under French control. In 1798, Napoleon embarked on an ambitious expedition to Egypt, aiming to disrupt British trade routes to India and establish French dominance in the eastern Mediterranean. While initially successful in capturing Alexandria and Cairo, Napoleon's Egyptian campaign ultimately faced significant challenges. The French fleet was destroyed by the British Navy at the Battle of the Nile, isolating Napoleon's army in Egypt. Despite these setbacks, Napoleon's time in Egypt further burnished his image as a larger-than-life figure. He oversaw archaeological expeditions, established the Institut d'Égypte to promote scientific research, and cultivated an image of himself as a modern-day Alexander the Great. His return to France in 1799 amidst political instability and growing discontent with the Directory set the stage for his next daring move, a coup d'état that would propel him to the pinnacle of power. By 1799, France was in a state of perpetual crisis. The Directory, the government established after the Reign of Terror, proved ineffective and unpopular, unable to provide stability or address the economic woes plaguing the nation. Napoleon's return from Egypt, where he had skillfully crafted an image of himself as a victorious general, coincided with this period of intense political turmoil. Seizing the opportunity, Napoleon, with the support of key political figures, including his brother Lucien and the Abbé Sieyès, staged a coup d'état on November 9, 1799, known as the 18 Brumaire. The coup effectively dissolved the Directory, replacing it with a consulate with Napoleon as first consul. Though ostensibly a shared power structure, Napoleon quickly consolidated his authority, becoming the de facto ruler of France. Over the next few years, Napoleon skillfully consolidated his power, establishing a new constitution, centralizing the government, and undertaking a series of reforms that aimed to bring order and stability to France. He implemented implemented a new legal code, the Napoleonic Code, which standardized laws across France, guaranteed property rights, and enshrined the principles of equality before the law and secularism. In 1804, Napoleon further solidified his grasp on power by having himself crowned Emperor of the French. This move, while met with some resistance, was largely accepted by a population weary of instability and eager for strong leadership. Napoleon's coronation marked the end of the French Revolution and the beginning of the Napoleonic era, a period defined by both remarkable achievements and devastating conflicts. Section 4. Napoleon's Empire Conquest, Reforms and Challenges from 1804 to 1812. As emperor, Napoleon's ambition knew no bounds. He sought to reshape the map of Europe, waging a series of wars against various coalitions of European powers. From 1803 to 1812, Napoleon's armies marched from victory to victory, conquering vast swathes of territory and establishing French hegemony over much of continental Europe. His military genius was undeniable, demonstrated in decisive victories at Austerlitz in 1805, Jena and Auerstedt in 1806, and Friedland in 1807. Napoleon's conquests were not merely military triumphs, they were also instruments of his grand vision for Europe. He sought to spread the ideals of the French Revolution: liberty, equality, fraternity, albeit under the banner of his own rule. He introduced the Napoleonic Code in conquered territories, abolished feudal privileges, and promoted religious tolerance. However, Napoleon's empire, built on military conquest and fueled by ambition, faced constant challenges. The Napoleonic Wars, while initially successful, took a heavy toll on France in terms of manpower and resources. His continental system, an economic blockade aimed at crippling Great Britain, proved largely ineffective and fueled resentment among European powers. Moreover, Napoleon's ambition and authoritarian tendencies bred resistance. Nationalist sentiments were on the rise across Europe, fueling resistance movements against French rule. Internally, while many admired Napoleon's leadership, his increasingly autocratic rule and constant warfare led to growing dissent. By 1812, cracks were beginning to appear in the facade of Napoleon's seemingly invincible empire. Section 5. The Road to Exile. Napoleon's downfall from 1812 to 1814. The year 1812 marked a turning point in Napoleon's fortunes, the beginning of his descent from the pinnacle of power. His disastrous invasion of Russia, driven by a desire to punish Tsar Alexander I for defying the continental system, proved to be a catastrophic miscalculation. The Grande Armée, initially numbering over 600,000 men, marched into the vast expanse of Russia, only to be met with scorched earth tactics, a brutal winter, and relentless attacks from Russian forces. The retreat from Russia, immortalized in literature and art as a testament to human suffering and the folly of overreach, decimated the Grande Armée. Of the hundreds of thousands who marched into Russia, only a fraction returned, broken and demoralized. Napoleon's enemies, emboldened by his weakened state, sensed an opportunity to strike. In 1813, Napoleon faced a coalition of European powers: Austria, Prussia, Russia, and Great Britain, at the Battle of Leipzig, often referred to as the Battle of Nations. This colossal clash, involving hundreds of thousands of soldiers, ended in a decisive defeat for Napoleon, shattering the remnants of his military might and effectively ending French domination of Europe. By 1814, Paris had fallen to the Allied forces, and Napoleon, abandoned by many of his former allies, was forced to abdicate. He was exiled to the island of Elba off the coast of Italy, allowed to retain the title of emperor but effectively stripped of his power. The Napoleonic Empire, built on military conquest and a cult of personality, lay in ruins, but Napoleon's story was far from over. Section 6. The Emperor's Shadow: Legacy and Impact from 1815 to the present. Napoleon's exile on Elba proved short-lived. In 1815, he escaped and returned to France, rallying support and reclaiming his imperial title. This period, known as the 100 Days, saw Napoleon attempt to regain his lost glory, but his efforts were in vain. On June 18, 1815, Napoleon faced a combined British and Prussian army led by the Duke of Wellington at Waterloo in what would become his final battle. The Battle of Waterloo, a clash of titans that has captivated historians and military enthusiasts for centuries, ended in Napoleon's decisive defeat. His army, outnumbered and outmaneuvered, was routed, marking the definitive end of his reign and his ambitions to dominate Europe. Napoleon was once again exiled, this time to the remote island of St. Helena in the South Atlantic, where he spent the last 6 years of his life under British supervision. Napoleon's death in 1821, at the age of 51, sparked numerous debates about its cause, with theories ranging from stomach cancer to arsenic poisoning. Regardless of the circumstances of his death, Napoleon's legacy as one of history's most influential figures remains undisputed. His military genius revolutionized warfare, his legal reforms continue to influence legal systems worldwide, and his impact on the political landscape of Europe reverberates to this day. Napoleon Bonaparte's life, a dramatic arc of meteoric rise and devastating fall, continues to fascinate and inspire, reminding us of the intoxicating allure of power, the enduring impact of ambition, and the enduring legacy of a man who, for a brief moment, held the fate of Europe in his hands.